Alrighty, here we go. We're heading off into the next section, and now we're getting into integer land. Integer, what's that? What? Do I remember? You will, trust me. So get to the page in your notes that's entitled Chapter 1, Section 2A. This is just on adding integers. You did this a little bit last year, so we're just going to review a little bit before we dive in deep, because that's what this year in 7th grade is all about, dive in deep. Ready? Here we go. All right, your learning target for today is just going to be very, very simple, much like your topic heading or the section title here. I can add integers. Okay, that's a nice short one today. Ready? Here we go. We've got a few terms here that I want to make sure we get taken care of. And so on your notes in the vocab section, first you should see the word integers. What's an integer? Well, integer is a number, yes. And in this case, I am just going to give you a list because sometimes just writing it out clearly illustrates what we've got. Leave some space here, okay? Come over here and write 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, ... Okay? However, that's not quite a complete list for integers. What I've just listed for you there are called the whole numbers. Start with 0 and then start going. Whole numbers meaning no fractional part, no decimal part. However, this also continues with all of the opposites. So 1 has a partner in negative land, -1, and continuing off on the left direction where we head further and deeper into the negative numbers. And I'll put the 3 dots or the ellipsis there to indicate that continues on into infinity that way. So 0 is kind of the center number, which doesn't have an opposite. And then you go up by the whole numbers and all of their opposites. So in words, we would say all of the whole numbers and their opposites, including 0. 0 is kind of unique, doesn't have an opposite. Those are the integers. What does an opposite mean? Well, this would simply be the same number value, the same, and I'm going to put this in quotes now because we haven't really talked about absolute value yet. So the same number, but with the different sign. I'm just going to kind of abbreviate it that way. So in other words, here again is sometimes a great way to illustrate it and say 1 and -1, they're opposites. 2 and -2 are opposites, and so on. -85, +85, they're opposites. Now, that kind of defines what they look like, but there's a unique property about opposites. And the thing is that when you add them, they add to 0. It's like they wipe each other out completely. They neutralize, annihilate each other. There's just nothing left. And that's why sometimes you'll see this term referred to kind of as a synonym to opposites, because an additive inverse really is the opposite number. And when you add it to a number, it goes to 0. Okay? So this is also an add to 0 kind of a thing with a number. The digits are the same. The absolute value is the same. We're going to talk more about absolute value in a few days, but absolute value means what is your distance from 0 on the number line? 5 is 5 units away from 0 on the number line. -5 is 5 units away from the number line. They have the same absolute value or distance from 0. Their signs are different, but the digit part is the same. That's the kicker, all right? So opposite and additive inverse we'll kind of use interchangeably for now, refer to the same thing. So here's some examples. -5 and 5, they're opposites. 12 and -12, they're opposites. And the beauty of them is that they will add up to 0. 5 plus -5 equals 0. Why does that happen, or what does it look like? So maybe when you were first exposed to negative numbers, you were given some actual manipulatives, some counters that were positives and negatives. And the best way to illustrate this is if I have 5 positives, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So think of those as like 5 little coins. And I have 5 negatives. Negative, 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 negative. If you want to combine them together, notice that every positive will take a negative value and they neutralize each other. These two neutralize each other and then they're gone. These two neutralize. These guys neutralize. These neutralize. Everybody has a partner on the opposite side and they wipe each other out. Okay? I call it kind of like tug of war team or battles, and the positive army or the positive team has 5 people and the negative team has 5 people and everybody is neutralized. Okay? They're evenly matched and so they kind of counteract each other and they go to 0. Another way you can think of it or draw it, and so for some people this model makes sense, is you use a number line. And when you start to illustrate things on a number line, you look at the first number. My first number is positive 5. So here I am at 0. I start at 0 and I go to positive 5. Here I am. Okay. Positive 5 means travel to the right. Okay. And then if I want to add negative 5, so this went to the right. This is a negative number, which means I'm going to travel in the opposite direction. I'm going to go to the left. So here's where I landed. And now I'm going to add negative 5. So I've got to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units to the left. And where do you land? Right here at 0. Okay. I know that on our MCA test, they like to use this number line model. So even if it doesn't make the best sense to you, I want you to be familiar with how to illustrate it on there so you can see what happens. We will use a bunch of different ways to talk about now adding integers so that you get a feel and it becomes automatic, whichever model works for you. So look at this problem, 6 plus negative 4. If you like counters, you would have 6 little plus guys on your positive army or coins or whatever you want to think of. And then, so that's your 6 positives. And then I have 4 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4. And look what happens. These guys all have partners, so they're equalized, neutralized. And what's left is 2 positives. If you're doing it on a number line, you start at 0. My first number was 6, so I go to the right because this is positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, plus 6. And then negative 4, I have to come to the left 4 units from where I landed. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. Meow, you land at 2. Okay, let's try another one. Negative 7 plus 3. If you are the person who likes the counters, negative, negative, 3. I'm not going to do the circles now, okay? Are you good with that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 negatives, okay? And then I'm adding 3 positives. So I got a plus sign, a plus sign, a plus sign. Look what happens. Neutralize, neutralize, neutralize. What are you left with? 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 4. Ta-da! If I illustrated this on the number line, you start at 0. My first number was negative 7. That means I go to the left 7 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bing! Then I'm going to add 3. When I add a positive number, I go to the right. 1, 2, 3 units. This is where I landed. Ding, 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 negative 4. There you go. Which way do you like better? Go with whatever model works for you, okay? So actually, let's just try a couple more now and see if you're kind of getting this way. So what if I had something like negative 14 plus negative 6 or something like this, okay? If you are thinking, I like the counters or thinking of the teams here, I'm thinking, I got negative 14. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Whew! Okay, that's the first team. Now I'm adding -6. There's nobody over here on positive land to counteract them, so I got 6 more of these guys. Okay, what do you have here? I've got nobody in the positive army that has at all neutralized anything in the negative camp. Really, you just have to count up all these negative guys together, and you end up with -20. Aha! If you are on a number line, the first number was -14, you'd say, all right, I go to the left because it's negative 14 units. So you'd land right here at -14. And then this tells you you got to go more to the left because this is negative number again. You got to keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. You will land at -20. Ha. All right. Now, I'm trusting this is some review for you. So now start thinking about this. We can generalize the situation when you're adding integers. So I want you to look at these rules. If you have the same signs, so in other words, both numbers are positive, both numbers are negative. Add the digit parts, in other words, the absolute values together. How far are they from 0? That part. And then keep the same sign for your answer. If both of your numbers were positive, your answer's positive. If both numbers were negative, your answer's negative. Okay? Off to the side here. If I say, what's 6 plus 9? That's 15. Okay? The signs were the same, so I add the values, 6 and 9. That's the number part. Positive, positive, positive. Okay? Same sign, sum. Same sign. Take the sum of the two. What if I had -6 plus -9? Okay, the signs are the same. This is like when you're starting at 0 and you're going to the left, to the left, to the left, 6 units, and then go back another 9. You're still in negative land, and you're now landing at -15. Okay? Same sign, take the sum of the two values of the numbers. What happens if you have different signs? Well, that'll be coming next. Let's see. Let's look at another one here. What if we have different signs? Okay, that means one of your numbers is positive, one of your numbers is negative. Okay, well, the first thing is that you're going to take the absolute values, in other words, just the digit parts of those two numbers, and you have to find the difference. You subtract them. Okay, different signs means difference. The sign of your answer is going to be what I call the stronger or more powerful number. It's like a tug of war. Who has more on their team? Who's going to win, going to win, going to win? Okay, so let's take a look at some examples of this. If I have, say, -10 plus 16, okay? All right, so my signs are different. That means you're going to come over here, 16 and 10, take just the number parts. Don't worry about this being a negative value. Find the difference between these two. That's 6. My final answer is going to have 6 for the digit, but the question is it positive or negative? Is it positive or negative? Well, who's stronger? The 10 guys on the negative army, and I'm going to draw a picture here so you can kind of see it, or the 16 guys on the positive army. Take a look here. I'm still doing my plus signs. Here we go. There's 16 positives, 10 negatives. Each one of these neutralizes one of these. So these get neutralized, these get neutralized, and so on. And you kind of go and see what's left standing. Okay? What's left standing? You still have 6 people left on the positive army. This answer is positive. If I had a number line, you'd think this way. First number is -10. You're going to the left 10 units. That lands you at -10. But then we're going to add 16. So I come back to the right those first 10 and I have to go 6 more, and here's where I land, and that's at positive 6. Awesome. Okay, getting the hang of it. Let's try a bunch of examples and let's see how you're doing. Okay, we're going to make these up here. All right, negative 15 plus negative 7. Here we go. Pause the video if you want. If you're catching on, just start zooming along. These are the same sign. Same sign means I'm going to take the sum. Off here, I'm thinking 15 and 7, which gives me 22. But what's the sign of my answer? If it's the same sign, you take the sum, and then your answer is the same sign as the 2 digits you had, negative 22. What if I had something like negative 15 plus 23? Oh, now, different signs. They're at battle with one another. They're counteracting each other. So can you visualize this? On the negative side, you have 15 of these things. On the positive team or army, you have 23 of them. Who's winning this battle? The positives will. I know my answer is going to be positive. Different sign, difference. Off to the side, I want you to take 23 and 15 and subtract them and get 8, and your answer is positive 8. Let's do another one. What if I had negative 48 and plus 10? Okay. If you're thinking number line, here's what I think. That means you go to the left, 48 units, and then you come back to the right 10. Visualize where are you landing. I'm still in negative land, and specifically I'm at negative 38 because I had to take these two values and subtract them. Different signs, difference. Who's stronger? This guy's more powerful. He's got more negatives on his army or his team. Okay? Your assignment, you can check in Schoology and see what you've got. And we'll go from there. So, as always, good luck, and may the force be with you.